Dosha Lyfe TV, man. Back again. Been a while since I had something to talk about, man. You know how it goes. But now, as I'm back on this water fast, yeah, I'm on another water fast. I do them periodically. Keep in mind that when you fast, it's also a matter of deprogramming your brain and reprogramming it with the things that matter, or at least the frequencies that matter, that keep you sound and keep you nature minded. Like, say, for instance, I'm like day 2. This is how I chill. I like to smoke in trees. That's just me. I'm a whole different type of guy. But now, like, connect with nature, man. You feed off these energies. Every energy that you're around is your atmosphere. That's what you feed on when you're not eating food. So it's like, when you're not eating food, you understand you're keeping your energy channels open. They're not being blocked by the meats and the pus and all that extra stuff that clogs your arteries and systems and energy systems in the body. You're not being blocked by that. You got to keep your energy open. So if you find yourself on a water fast, and let's say you're not having detox effects anymore, you don't have any energy, play some music. You will feed off that music. That music will give you energy, literally. You know, Stuff like that, things of that nature. Y'all gotta keep in mind, we some nature beings. A lot of people don't realize that this war is not really per se, or it is a spiritual war going on against the spiritual peoples and the spiritual beings. And they war with us through the food, which is why I tell y'all to fast. They war with us through the media. And that's why I tell y'all, be careful what y'all paying attention to on this media, because it's programming. If your emotions is open, you take it in. You know what I'm saying? And then they war with us through, what's the word? Political agenda, which is also ran through the media. And they also base the food off of that too. All this stuff is all programming. So it's a war, basically, the natural beings versus the artificial beings. Think about this. You ever notice that the drugs that kill people, the natural beings are scared of the drugs that don't kill people, like mushrooms and all the plant medicines and stuff of that nature. But they scared of the drugs that don't. I mean, they use the drugs that kill people. Like, say, for instance, it's a war on a natural being if all the substances that's of plant nature that puts a person that's of an artificial mind back into their natural state of mind is made outlawed. It's outlawed all over the world, for the most part, in every Europeanized or colonized nation, not the dark skinned nations, unless they are under colonized or colonial rule. Like a lot of the Caribbean. Yeah, weed is still illegal in Barbados. The people don't give a damn, but the system of government is based off of that. You know what I'm saying? But the people don't give a damn, they still smoke it. Police might not even give a damn. Police are black too. They're not killing us out there. So that's a whole different world. But they get locked up for weed. You know what I'm saying? It's a war on the natural beings. You want to feed yourself on natural energy. You can't serve two masters. You find yourself on a full stomach full of fruit and you hungry. You on a full stomach full of fruit, but you hungry. What energy are you trying to feed yourself? The low energy that makes this physical shit appear more real, or the natural high energy, that you feed yourself just by being in the atmosphere of it? Let me change branches, man. Hold up. I'm sitting here. Ooh wee. Ah. Yeah, I can climb trees. No hands and sun gaze. You heard? Yeah. And I can lean back. But yeah, man. Keep in mind, it's a war on natural. Natural is from the soul. That's nature. Notice they're destroying nature, burning it up, and then trying to put you on an artificial lifestyle. Want you with artificial blood, with nanobites from artificial medicines and shots. You know, they want you to take all this artificial stuff and make yourself an artificial being. You like artificial food if you scared of natural foods. Therefore, you're already partially programmed by this artificial nature that the oppressor put on you because we was natural beings entirely. Even with the shit that even with our technology, we still was natural. We had more advanced technology based off of nature. Therefore, it didn't deplete nature. It fueled nature. Free energy. Y'all got to keep in mind it's deeper than y'all think. It's a war on the nature spirits. It's a war on nature, period. Everything that is natural, there's a war on, and it's being pushed in the laws of the genders to make it acceptable to be against the natural way of doing things. And I mean natural by way of what nature intended, what the spiritual powers that made this realm created. You get what I'm saying? If I have sex in front of a dog, if I have sex in front of a dog, my dog will hump pillows. If I have sex in front of my dog, because I transferred a spirit. The spiritual energy was in that room and the dog was susceptible to it, to hump pillows. So people can't say, I seen a dog humping a dog. That dog was most likely around a gay man. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I'm saying animals we humanize nature on this physical level, but we're from the spiritual level. We are based off the nature of the cosmos, and the nature of this physical plane is based off of us. We done went through all these cycles of nature. We done went through all stages of metamorphosis. We done went through all of this shit. If you got a soul which predates nature, then you're older than nature itself. Nature doesn't define you. You define nature. You are nature. That Egyptian god Neter. You are these things. You are the embodiment of God, which is the embodiment of natural forces. Therefore, the embodiment of nature. They want you to feed yourself with artificial foods with drugs that's artificial. They keep you with an artificial mindset. In other words, a counterfeit spirit-filled mindset. In other words, these are counterfeit spirits. You eat all these artificial things and these foods, your stomach process these foods and the spirits of these foods, which are thoughts or thought forms, into the thoughts in your brain. Then you have an artificial mindset and your thought process is now based on artificial thinking. You get what I'm saying? There's levels to this. It's a war on the natural beings, period. All over the world. It don't matter if white, black, green, blue. In the United States, in America's period, you dark skin, it's a war on you because we got that power that's basically from nature that it makes basically no matter what force we're under, will still keep us tuned to that. That's why they war with us the hardest. You go to places overseas like China, they got something called Falun Gong. They want to war with them people for practicing their spiritual practices. It's the war on the spiritual people because the spiritual people are those that's bound to nature. So people don't understand. They're trying to convert this planet into an artificial life force. In a sense to where all the nature beings is just used as the life force or the fuel. The life force or the fuel for such things. They want to take you over and use your soul. They don't want to kill us off. They can't have nothing if they kill us off. This whole world wouldn't even exist if we didn't exist. They can't kill us off. They can kill a lot of us off as collateral, but try to suck the life out of us. So it's like, say for instance, the ones of us that died that they don't care, it's like I'm harvesting a bunch of grapes. And some of them grapes might be dead and get tossed to the side. That's the ones that die in our race. That's how they do us. Now, we get to a point where this artificial mindset is taking over. You got to realize who is the mental beings. Men are the mental beings. Our mind is not easily programmed. We never accepted this system. Therefore, the system never embraced us. As far as the dark-skinned man, I'm not talking about other nations of men. This is actually exclusively for the melanated man. We have the only race and the only gender that has not received any kind of assistance from said quote-unquote governments. You get what I'm saying? But yet, our women look at us like we're broke and why we can't do it, because it's a smart thing. They forget racism exists. The racism gives them assistance. The same people that beat us down, shoot us and kill us, the same forces that do that give them assistance. And then they'll sit there and take that assistance and look at us like why we ain't coming up. It's a war They're trying to mess up the nature between a man and a woman. Why you think they're promoting all this stuff? Anything the government promotes and make laws about, it's not for us. Even the shit that you think is for us, it's against us. They want you to be dependent. They want you to be their slave. If a man consistently feeds you, you have nowhere else to eat, you're his slave. Because if he decides he's not going to feed you no more, what are you going to do? Unless you learn to do for yourself, which is a natural way of doing things, which they don't want you to do. You got to sign a treaty and shit just to own land. That this land is for everyone. Unless it's a land that you dictate for yourself. But shoot, now we got to do shit in the system. This system don't give a fuck about us. It's the nature spirits, the natural beings, natural hair that looks like the trees, you know what I'm saying, that reaches to the sunlight. Oh, you want you to cut your hair to look good for an artificial based job. You got to think about this. It's a war on nature. And they don't want us to be in any form of nature. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a realm full of spirits. A realm full of spirits. Keep in mind.